everyone, welcome back. We're coming off the heels of UFC 314, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. And there was no UFC this weekend, but I have a feeling about Ian Garry and I cannot sit on it any longer. I must come and tell you about it. He's headlining next Saturday against Carlos Prates. If you're unaware, Carlos Prates, the fighting nerd. I'm super high on this guy. I have been since he's been in the UFC, since he's been on Dana White Contender Series against Mitch Ramirez. He's on an 11-fight KO streak right now. One of those is Dana White Contender Series. 4 of those are in the UFC. This guy's a beast, I just want to say. This is a hard fight for both men. I will get into that. But Ian Garry's gotten a lot of hate over the last year and a half, and I feel like that has maybe skewed a lot of people's perception of this. And Carlos Prates is a fighting nerd who is getting, the whole team is getting hyped like crazy. Their TikToks love child. You know, they're just getting edits upon edits made out of them. And, you know, I'm a victim of that too. I've made an edit of probably a couple of these guys. But that's not the point. Ian Garry has gotten a lot of hate. I've picked against Ian Garry a couple times, rightfully so, I will say. He did get knocked down against Kenan Song early on in his career. I was going off this for a while. But, you know, he worked his way back into this fight. You have to give him credit where credit's due. He worked his way back into this fight, beat Kenan Song up. I get it's Kenan Song, but, you know, everyone has one of those performances. Jai Herbert, Ilia Topuria. What are we doing? And then he does a little walk-off celebration after. You know, Ian Garry's got something to him. Even if you don't like him, you do have to admit he's got potential. He's a rangy striker, technical, and recently, as much as I hate to say it, he has been rounding out his game with shoot box. And Carlos Prates has been printing money for me since he's been in the Dana White Contender Series, and then he got in the UFC, and he knocked out Trevin Giles. But listen, this was a really close fight, this Trevin Giles fight, and I don't think it should have been that close, but it was its first UFC fight, to be completely fair to him. But I do want to have a look at the numbers, because I feel like getting outstruck nearly 2-1 by Trevin Giles is a pretty bad look, and I get he did end up knocking out Trevin Giles pretty bad in that fight. But, like, Trevin Giles landed a lot of strikes before that is the thing. That's the only point I'm making. And even then, Carlos still landed 100% of his distance strikes, which is an interesting stat to say the least. But, like, 35-24 in the first round, 33-13 in the second round. It's never happened since, though. He's never been outstruck since, is the thing. You know? He's never been outstruck since he beat Charles Radke in the fight after that, knee to the body, incredible finish. He was the only person ever to knock out Li Jingliang, but people forget, man. Li Jingliang was coming off of a spinal surgery. How well can you recover from a spinal surgery? I felt like it was a pretty easy pick saying Carlos Prates was going to take out Li Jingliang after a massive layoff and a spinal surgery. I don't think it was a crazy pick. People still picked Li Jingliang in that fight. The Neil Magny fight, I get Ian Garry also fought Neil Magny and didn't get him out of there. But the thing is, Ian Garry was literally bullying him in that fight. And I hated that he didn't get the finish. I picked him to get a finish, and I needed him to get a finish for me to make money. He ended up just bullying him for 3 rounds because he wanted to make a fool of Neil Magny. I didn't respect him at the time for it. I didn't like his comments about Neil Magny. That's neither here nor there. That doesn't matter in this fight. What does matter is just the frame of these guys is so similar. Prates does have a 4-inch reach advantage, but Garry is 2 inches taller, and he likes to play a really long game. He's not really a close fighter, so I don't think that reach advantage is going to sway him that much. And even when he's playing close, he's in the clinch, holding you against the fence. And he's got a height advantage. I don't know if he's going to be bigger or stronger than Prates, but he's going to be taller at least. And he is a really physical grappler, as we've seen recently. He's been rounding out his game with shoot box. And he's looked pretty good recently with his grappling. Like, I picked MVP in this fight. I wanted MVP to win. And at the time, I was claiming robbery, all this, all that. Ian Garry won the fight. It sucked to see it. He implemented a good game plan, and he won the fight. Even if he was claiming all this shit about, oh, I'm going to be the best striker on the feet. I'm going to outstrike you, MVP. He's saying all this, all that. It didn't happen. But he did out-grapple MVP pretty easily. He was able to implement a game plan, take his back, get a choke off. He didn't finish it, but, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. He had an attempt. And he had the same position on Shavkat Rakhmonov. I just think he probably can get the back of Carlos Prates. We haven't seen Carlos Prates' grappling. I get he's a BJ, he's Brazilian. He trains with Caio Borralho, but I don't think that makes him a legendary grappler. I don't know. We haven't seen it. He's only striking with these guys. His takedown defense is pretty good, 91%. Pretty good. But man, I just have a feeling. Ian Garry is going to make this boring. And this is a 5-rounder. Are you going to pick someone that's been in a 5-rounder against a title contender like Shavkat Rakhmonov and made it pretty close? Or are you going to pick someone that professes how they smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol every day? I'm just saying. I think Ian Garry has a great chance to win this fight. I think he has a great chance to make it boring. And if Carlos Prates does not get him out of there early, there's a chance we see Ian Garry even get a finish in the later rounds, man. I'm just saying, Ian Garry most likely is going to be doing this little strut one more time in the cage in the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think. Yeah, this is the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I just have a feeling, man. I have a feeling about Ian Garry, and I gotta let you guys know. So let me know what you guys thought, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.